You know how you can tell when a lawyer is lying? When they move their lips. What do you call 10,000 lawyers at the bottom of the ocean? It's a good start. This guy right here is David R. Jones. And what does David R. Jones do? Well, David R. Jones is a piece of shit. This fucking ex-bankruptcy judge, he's a federal judge, ex-federal judge. He resigned because he was having sex with this Elizabeth Freeman. Elizabeth Freeman worked for Jackson Walker. So he resided over these bankruptcy cases where Jackson Walker got $13 million in legal fees. He approved $1,400 an hour because, hey, they do good work. These guys do real good work. I think he got hired on after Enron or something. I'm going to get into the details here in a second. But he helped Jackson Walker make $13 fucking million. So he's a thief. He's a cheating piece of shit. And he helped these lawyers steal $13 million off the fucking top. Just scraping cream off the top. $1.1 million is going to go to his girlfriend, Elizabeth Freeman, herself. She built it herself. So that's nice. He's living in a house with this Elizabeth Freeman. And he didn't disclose it. He also didn't recuse himself. So he's sitting there porking this woman who's working for this law firm that's making fucking millions off of his cases. This is fucking Mr. fucking goddamn. What is this fucking stain right there? What is that stain right there? What's up with this? His weird ass fucking face. Here's him looking like, hey guys, I'm a judge, you guys. I'm important, you know. Hey guys, I'm important too, you know. I'm important too. So he's working out of Houston, Texas, approving $1,400 an hour for fucking lawyers, and he's living with his girlfriend since 2017. Then Elizabeth Freeman had quit the fucking firm 2022. So for 5 years, she's working for this firm, fucking this guy. I guess they're still together, I'm not for sure. And you had J.C. Penney. You also had Neiman Marcus and Gulfport Energy Corp. So you had these big-ass bankruptcy cases. Big-ass bankruptcy cases, right? J.C. Penney, Neiman Marcus, out on Gulfport Energy Corp. I've never heard of these fucking... There, is that her right there? Is that her right there in the background? He dominated bankruptcy in America. They were like, hey man, he's the honest man. He can do these big, high-dollar fucking bankruptcy cases. No, go to him. Go to him. So let's get into some of the details, okay? So, who is this guy, and what is this guy about? Well, clearly he's a cheating-ass piece of shit, right? So he's like, why don't you just go ahead and give $1 million to my girlfriend. So he's going to steal $13 million, help to steal $13 million, help to steal $1 million. I mean, I guess it's a good boyfriend, just a really bad judge, right? So David R. Jones, former federal Texas bankruptcy fucking court, right? Who helped Elizabeth Freeman's friend. He helped his friend Elizabeth Freeman and her friends at Jackson Walker, LLP, earn $13 million off the bankruptcy cases that David R. Jones was personally looking over. So they're living together, they're having sex, just porkopolis, right? So just, they own a house together, they've had this relationship for quite some time. Either you recuse yourself for conflict of interest, or you disclose. He did neither one of these things. He kept it on the slide. He made sure it was a secret. So not only is he giving her $1 million fucking bucks, but he's making sure Jackson Walker LLP is making fucking $13 million. Now you had some other bankruptcy judges that are looking into this. One was actually took mercy on him. The other one did not. He's going to get sanctioned. It's interesting how federal judges deal with their own, right? They all used to be the same club, right? They were all in the same club. Doesn't he have immunity? I mean, he's allowed to fucking steal $13 million, right? I've never seen immunity in the Constitution whatsoever. I haven't read abortion, but I also haven't read immunity. Where the fuck did this idea of immunity come from? Let's see here. Moses. So Aaliyah Moses is a U.S. district judge. She was thinking about how far judicial immunity extends. And she's like, I'm talking about any judge in the United States. Aaliyah Moses. So this is a U.S. district judge. And according to a transcript of the hearings, he says, it gives me a little bit of pause to think that judges can misbehave outside the courtroom, walk into the courtroom, issue an order, and then just be completely absolved of our misconduct. Oh yeah, Aaliyah Moses, and how come you ruled in his favor? Oh, there's no conspiracy. No conspiracy, huh? So he was just sticking his dick up inside of that vagina, but he wasn't goddamn talking to her. He didn't talk to her. He didn't talk to Jackson Walker. Whether the conduct concerns a non-judicial act can be characterized as falling outside the scope of the judge's jurisdictional authority or is not subject to judicial immunity for some other reason will be the plaintiff's burden to show. It's not an easy one to meet. This guy said, G-E-Y-H, Giya, that the judge has hired A-list talent to represent him may not signify more than that he has taken these suits seriously. This raises a question as to why he would defend disgraced former bankruptcy judge David R. Jones. So he gets this high-dollar lawyer who's fighting lawsuits that allege he benefited from personal relationship with Elizabeth Freeman, who worked on the cases of his court. David R. Jones turned to one of the country's most famous lawyers after appearing to strike out on a request for the U.S. Department of Justice to defend him in the first of two suits. So the FBI and the DOJ are looking into this guy. And he even asked the DOJ to, hey, can you defend me? The judge must really be worried if he had to go to a New York lawyer and hire one of the most expensive big law firms in the country, said Stephen Gillers, a New York University Law School professor who studies legal and judicial ethics. So David R. Jones, he built his Houston court into the busiest jurisdiction for large Chapter 11 cases. He resigned last year after it became public he'd been in a relationship with Elizabeth Freeman, a bankruptcy lawyer at Jackson Walker who frequently worked on cases before the judge. Elizabeth Freeman left the law firm in late 2022. Why did he quit? Why did he resign? Jackson Walker earned millions on cases before David R. Jones. 13 fucking million. Millions. Just, he made a couple, 1, 2 million. No, 13 million. All while litigants were unaware that Jones and Elizabeth Freeman were owning a house together and porking each other. A federal appeals court judge last year found there was probable cause to believe that David R. Jones committed misconduct. Yeah, you fucking think? You fucking think, huh? Probable cause, huh? Maybe there's something going on here. The U.S. bankruptcy watchdog is trying to claw back millions in fees that Jackson Walker had earned in those cases. One of those decisions issued August 16th, 2024. Chief Judge Aaliyah Moses of the U.S. District Court for the Western District of Texas had dismissed the conspiracy claims against Jones. But she was also critical of the once prominent judge's behavior. So that's basically the same thing, right? Get out of here, you. But don't let me hear you doing anything else. Dismiss the conspiracy claims? What conspiracy? Your Honor? I just fuck her. I don't ever talk to her. That's all we live together, and I don't even know her damn middle name. David R. Jones was also sanctioned August 16th by U.S. bankruptcy judge Eduardo Rodriguez. I like this Eduardo Rodriguez. He's got some backbone. This guy's formidable. He's got some balls of steel. He's got some canojos. He now leads the Southern District of Texas bankruptcy court that Jones once presided over. Former U.S. bankruptcy judge David R. Jones of Houston is now going to have to take 7.5 hours of ethics training for a flagrant contravention of his obligations under the U.S. Judicial Code, said Chief U.S. Bankruptcy Judge Eduardo V. Rodriguez of the Southern District of Texas in an August 16th opinion. David R. Jones had resigned October 2023 after he was accused of having an undisclosed romantic relationship with Elizabeth Freeman. Is he embarrassed of her? Did he not? Is she not? I've never seen a picture. I don't. Then a partner of the Houston bankruptcy firm Jackson Walker, LLP. What is LLP? Limited liability fucking pussy. Lawyers from the firm regularly appeared before Jones in re professional fee matters concerning the Jackson Walker law firm. The case number is 2364645. The case name is in re professional fee matters concerning the Jackson Walker law firm. It's in the bankruptcy court for the Southern District of Texas, Houston Division. The court finds that David R. Jones has acted in bad faith. Therefore, he's ordered to take 7.5 hours of ethics training. So I'm not for sure if I get to the exact. Apparently, he was supposed to do a deposition. Instead of doing a deposition, he has an off the fucking record meeting with his lawyers. Don't you have a lawyer-client fucking privilege? And then he says, well, that wasn't an interview because it was a deposition. An interview is just a deposition. David R. Jones knows the fucking rules. He basically is Mr. fucking rules. There's a big-ass revolution. He comes in, cleans house, and then he's like a fucking hawk when it comes to procedure. Oh, man, he's such a hawk when it comes to procedure. His law firm that is representing him now had filed 35 Rule 60 motions. 35 Rule 60 motions. Is there a limit on how many motions you're allowed to file? The court finds this argument to not only be entirely without merit, but made in bad faith. Of course it is. What, Your Honor? You told me to do the deposition, and I went and talked to these people off the fucking record. That's just an interview. Did you do the deposition? No. Why'd you do the interview? To get out of the deposition? Whoops. I mean, I was conferring with the lawyers to see if, what'd you say? There's like a stipulations. They did stipulations, guidance or something, and the court said, okay, you gotta do this and you gotta do that. And David R. Jones, he's been above the fucking law for such a long time. He's like, I'm just going to keep breaking the fucking law. I'm the judge. I get judicial immunity. Nah, I can fucking rape, rob, murder. I can fucking kick your cat. I can fucking smack you in the goddamn mouth. I'm David R. fucking Jones. Who the fuck are you? I'm David R. Jones. So in bad faith, he flouted his obligations under the judiciary regulations in this proceeding in an attempt to further his own goals. New York, August 22nd, Reuters. Former U.S. bankruptcy judge David R. Jones confirmed he was under criminal investigation. The DOJ and the FBI had a recent court hearing in which he tried to ward off public questions about his once secret romantic relationship with a Houston bankruptcy lawyer named Elizabeth Freeman. He also really wanted to explain that he's never gone water skiing while dressed as a Christmas elf. He's never gone water skiing dressed as a Christmas elf, you fucking lying bastards! How dare you tell David R. Jones he's gone water skiing while dressed as a Christmas elf? That ain't who he is. That's not what he's about. According to a transcript of an August 7th hearing in Houston Bankruptcy Court, the transcript was initially sealed, but then it was unsealed. DOJ FBI is looking in to see if there's any coordination between the restructuring professionals and former Judge David R. Jones see if he interfered with the fair administration of Chapter 11 cases. There's this picture called Meat Fest, and the judge and the lawyers are all smiles. He's up in the corner like looking over there. He worked for years to make Houston a destination for high-dollar bankruptcy litigation. David R. Jones can be seen in an October 2022 photo huddled at a barbecue with local attorneys who brought cases before him and also formed a cooking crew. I like these lawyers. These lawyers are my buddies. I make them millions, and they really like me and my jokes. They like me. They really like me. They don't just love me for my power and my money. Wait, Elizabeth Freeman, where are you going? I don't have any power or money anymore. Why are you leaving me, Elizabeth Freeman? Don't leave me. The fucking lawyer that takes the cases like he's just really concerned about the independence of the judiciary. To him, it's all about the three branches of government. The judiciary needs to be independent. It can't be tied up in the legislative branch, tied up in the executive branch. It can't be tied up in investigative and administrative matters. We're the judges. We get to sit on high and judge you fucking plebeian, low-life piles of shit. They've been together since 2017. It wasn't public knowledge, but somebody turned in an anonymous letter that alleged favoritism, and that would reveal the relationship. Jackson Walker, LLP. Limited liability pussy. The Texas law firm earned millions of dollars in fees in cases overseen by David R. Jones, while David R. Jones and Elizabeth Freeman were porking each other's fucking brains out. Their relationship would eventually have consequences for a court and a firm that have handled high-profile bankruptcies, including the Neiman Marcus and the Gulfport Energy Corporation. The judge presided over at least 26 bankruptcies in which he awarded Jackson Walker fees, while Elizabeth Freeman was a partner to Jackson Walker and giving up that sweet, sweet badussy. That's Azalea Banks, and living with him. The Department of Justice's Bankruptcy Monitoring Unit, the U.S. trustee, said in court filings he mediated another 7 cases involving the firm and Elizabeth Freeman. In total, David R. Jones approved or oversaw cases in which Jackson Walker was paid at least $13 million. That included at least $1.1 million in fees. Elizabeth Freeman billed herself, the U.S. trustee has said. How much is this for the sex for the night? For you, it's free. I'll bill you in the morning. Okay, how much was it? $1.1 million? Oh my God. You are a high-end. You're a high-end escort. The judge presided over at least 26 bankruptcies in which he awarded Jackson Walker fees while Freeman was a partner living with him. The Department of Justice's Bankruptcy Monitoring Unit, the U.S. trustee, said in court filings he mediated another 7 cases involving the firm and Elizabeth Freeman. In total, David R. Jones approved or oversaw cases in which Jackson Walker, LLP, was paid at least $13 million. That includes at least $1.1 million in fees that Elizabeth Freeman billed herself. Oh, how convenient. How convenient. I've heard that there's no such thing as coincidences. Is this a coincidence? I think not. To me, the real issue about Houston, why are you all conspiring together? Is that a coincidence? For Aaliyah Moses, it's a coincidence. But for that Eduardo, I am Eduardo Rodriguez. For Eduardo Rodriguez, David R. Jones ain't gonna get shit past Eduardo Rodriguez. Their relationship would eventually have consequences for a court and a firm that have handled high-profile bankruptcy. I already said, to me, the real issue about Houston, it's not so much about David R. Jones. This is former Nevada bankruptcy judge Bruce Markell. To me, the real issue about Houston, it's not so much about this David R. Jones, although I think it's horrific. It just shows me that Houston, Texas is a fucking swamp creature of fucking epic proportions. Bruce Markell just says it's a swamp, but it's all a bunch of shit. You know Houston, Texas, they're being run by a bunch of shit. Bunch of shit leaders, and shit judges, shit fucking cops, shit everybody. Houston's docket grew, then it exploded into what Isgar had called the David R. Jones Revolution. Oh man, David R. Jones initiated a revolution from the top. Man, from 2017 to his resignation in 2023, he only got the judge for 6 years. Hopefully he keeps that pension. I hope he keeps his pension. David R. Jones took on 81 large corporate cases with assets ranging from $50 million to billions of dollars. Billions! 50 million! The most among bankruptcy judges nationwide, according to the data. Data? Which one would working class say? They say data? No, they'd say data. So the data compiled by bankruptcydata.com The New Generation Research Incorporated, Isger ranks second in handling such cases. With 58, Jones was the judge who saved the Texas bankruptcy practice, said an article in the Texas Law Book. He approved hourly fees of just $1,400 or more that was in line with New York or Delaware rates. Rates. Bankruptcy lawyers today are so specialized, they're so talented, said David R. Jones. He told the Law Book, it doesn't bother me one bit. I don't care if I'm paying my hooker wife, my prostitute, honey bunny, my high-end escort. Y'all see that picture of Kamala in that bikini? She said she was top shelf. How did you get to be here and there, and then now you're all the way up here? In court, Jones praised lawyers who came before him, including those from Jackson Walker and Kirkland and Ellis. You know, the genocide's still going on. It's wrong to kill kids. You can't just go around mass murdering a bunch of kids. You fucking pro-life and fake-ass pro-life piles of shit. Pro-life, yeah. They're against the life of plants. They're against the life of animals and their friends and family and neighbors. And, the genocide in Gaza. Who gives a shit about that, right, you pro-life fucking hypocrites? David R. Jones praised the lawyers before him, including Jackson Walker. Man, they are good. I love how they file timely motions. I love how well-dressed they are and how their arguments, they just know civil procedure like, Plus, they got that badunk-a-dunk and I like sticking my dick in him. Oh, man. Jackson Walker, there's some good lawyers. I love motorboating those lawyers. Come on now. Blowjobs, Kirkland and Ellis. Kirkland and Ellis in a J.C. company's $4.9 billion bankruptcy. J.C. went down? When did that happen? $5 billion? David R. Jones defended the Kirkland Jackson Walker lawyers from shareholder complaints. This is what David R. Jones said. I'm ashamed to some degree that I live in a country where people are targeted for trying to do good work. David R. Jones said, Mr. Integrity, Mr. fucking Honesty, Mr. Constitution. That's Mr. Bill of Rights right there. Mr. Freedom of Speech, Grand Jury Indictment, Mr. 10th Amendment, and 11th, and 12th, and 13th. It's not going to be any slavery under my watch. I'm going to let them make $1,400 an hour. Fuck it. Why don't you just give my girlfriend $1 million? In that 2020 case, J.C. bankruptcy, Jackson Walker is going to get $1.1 million in fees. He awarded them that much money. So what, they write up their fucking bills and they give it to the judge and the judge is like, yeah, that's all right. Yeah, you did really good work. And $286,000 went to Elizabeth Freeman. My God, she must have done a fucking tabletop turnaround fucking caramel apple fucking. She brought out the swings on that day. My God. So, Jigglypuff, Jigglypoof, Jigglypoof, $286,000. I am ashamed that I live in a country where if I get a good-ass blowjob, I can't give Elizabeth Freeman $286,000. You know, she did this little twist thing and this little swoosh. I mean, the shit that she could do with her tongue. Elizabeth Freeman.